Football season is nearly here, and we're getting you ready for kickoff. This is Big 12 Media Day coverage live from Frisco, Texas, presented by Omada Real Estate. Buying or selling a home? Trust the experts at Omada Real Estate. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome on back, Frisco, Texas. It is Big 12 Media Days, and joining us now, he is the head coach of Brigham Young University, Kalani Sitake. How are you, Coach?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Man, I'm fired up to see you. I'm so excited for football season. Let's get this thing going.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. It's an exciting time.
There's no off season for you guys anymore, is there?
Not really.
Maybe a couple weeks in July, or?
Yeah, it's kind of odd though, because we did have some time in July, but you're starting to see a lot of coaches leave college to go to the NFL so they can spend time with their families. Like, guys, where are we at now? It's like
so crazy.
I can't believe that we're saying that now, but that's happened quite a bit, and it's my job as the head coach to make sure that I protect the life, the livelihood of my coaches, my staff, and so this is good. I'd rather them be here, but I got to do this, and this is part of the necessary part of my job that I enjoy talking about football and things like that, but don't really. Do I have to be in a suit every time I do this?
They don't
pull it
off,
though.
Yeah?
No?
Yeah, you pull it off well.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's just a good thing for big and tall sizes.
A win for big and tall.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Everybody we talk to is optimistic at Media Days, which, of course,
Yeah.
is a great vibe about this event. But you've got to be particularly optimistic bringing so many players back, including the Offensive Player of the Year and QB1.
Yeah, I mean that's a good start, but there's a lot of work to be done still, and I really am excited to see the progress that Bear's made throughout the year, and to see how far he's come, even during the season last year. So that with what he did during the spring, what he's doing during the off season right now, it's been impressive. But that's with all his teammates. The guys have been doing such a great job, and I'm just trying not to mess it up. These guys are great work ethic, and trying to give them an environment where the guys feel that they have autonomy, that this is their team, and trying to provide an environment where they can feel, that their leadership can show and it can come through.
In terms of your staff, obviously a change with Jay leaving and K-Pop coming in. I was talking earlier. I was around BYU so long. I watched him as an intern run the back of the end zone to the locker room from the box.
Mm-hmm.
He's been at it a long time. Your confidence in him and what you think the defense can do this year?
Yeah, I knew K-Pop was going to be special long ago, even before he came on the staff. I have to say, the reputation that he created for himself as a coach in recruiting as an assistant, and even what he's done with Bronco was really impressive. I took over as a head coach and got to coach Fred Warner for 2 years. And Fred Warner, guys like Fred Warner, Sione Takitaki, Harvey Langi, all those guys were singing the praises of Kelly Pepinga from that point on. And so it's something that I took note of, especially Fred. Fred really loved him. And so I took note of it, and anytime I get him on staff, I wanted to, so we brought him in. And once he was here with Jay, I knew he'd be the next guy in line. It was pretty easy, and so right when Jay left, fortunately I planned for Jay because I thought Jay should be a head coach, and,
right.
You're planning on him leaving at some point, and he left for Michigan, which is great for him, but that means that I got to go to the next phase, which is hiring the defense coordinator, and it's been K-Pop from the very beginning.
How much does the influence of Gary Anderson help in making that transition of being defensive coordinator?
It's been huge. Gary's been his impact has been so good for our program. He knows the front really well. He's been a coordinator, been a D-line coach, and he's been a head coach. And so there's some really cool lessons that he's learned and that I get to benefit from, And so it was really fortunate for me to keep him here because everybody wanted him, including Michigan and other places. So for him to want to be here, be with these young men, and to be with me is a huge honor. So, yeah, we have I am definitely one to admit that I don't have all the answers for myself, but I have some really good people around me, and so we can keep building on it. And Jay would be one of those guys, So what he was able to do for us here is I appreciate from him, but we also have a lot of guys that have done quite a bit too, and it's never been about one person. It's not going to be about one coach, and so the group has done a great job, and I'm glad that we're able to keep the foundation of our group together, and it helps that you return so many players.
You've been so close to conference championship for a couple of years in a row. How do you set goals with a team, and how do you vocalize it? Do you even dare speak like the goal is to be conference champion this year, or is it strictly 1 week at a time? How do you work that to your advantage?
I think there's pretty much the given goals. Everybody knows that everybody wants to be champions. You're non-competitive if you don't plan on trying to get that done. But our focus needs to be on how do we get that done. Just saying that you want to be a champion doesn't make it happen. And it's what are you willing to do in the off season when no one's watching. By the time you get to the season, much of the work has been done already. So I like to see a physical change in their presence and who they are, how they handle themselves, the confidence that they bring. That usually confidence happens when you work hard and you know that you've done everything you could in the off season to make it happen. So I like the 6 guys that we brought. You met them, you saw them, and they physically changed themselves. Bear included, and so that's one part of the factoring, the change. And the next part is also what we're able to do mentally. How can they be closer as a team? And then I don't sit there and I'm not fixated on do or die with the championship. My job is pretty simple: get these guys to play 12 times at their best, and a lot of that has to do with making mistakes during the week in practice. We want to get the mistakes done because that's the best learning experiences, that you go through some mistakes and taking some chances in practices and spring ball, all that stuff. So trying to get that done, but then not have the mistakes become part of their habit, learning from it and making sure that you're improved from it. So that's what the goal is. That's my job, is to get them to do it 12 times in a row. And if we do that right, we should earn more time to play. And we did enough of that last year. But we could do better. So when I say we, myself as a head coach, I've got to do better getting these guys to perform 12 times at their best. If we do that, if we can get that done, then I think we're going to love the results.
I was at BYU when you had the lay-on that first day when they announced you as the guy, and had at that point didn't have a ton of interaction with football. But I'll never forget, you reached out when you first got the job and you were like, "Hey, I heard you recruit for basketball. Let's go to lunch." So right from the very beginning, it was about recruiting to you. You guys are definitely, in another echelon and tier in recruiting. How has that transpired? How has that been done?
Recruiting is it's a people game, So I think the key is not trying to win people over, just trying to give them more information and see these young men and their families that BYU is a good destination for them. And so it's getting out there and letting them know that they can progress as a human, and they can succeed at BYU even if they're not at that level where they think. I think a lot of times people are like, "Why? I'm not going to go there because I can't survive." Well, what are you trying to survive? What are you looking at? Are you looking at the rules that as a hindrance to where you're trying to get? And it's like, so if you're trying to get to the league, then this should help you. It removes the distractions for you, and so. It's just educating them that way, and then letting them come to a decision on what's best for them. I think my style of recruiting is I don't go out and sell as much as I try to inform and then let them make the decision. The last thing I want is this young man to come to BYU and wish he was somewhere else. You're not doing us any good, and you're not doing the school that you should be at doing any good. So let's figure this out together, and then it's just as much revealing for them or where they want to be as much for me, and I'm all about football and getting people to the right place, that's going to be suitable for them. And then we have the transfer portal, so when we mess up in recruiting, which we tend to do sometimes, it's not an error-free.
We never did. I never did my whole time.
Yeah, exactly. But I think if I want to mess up on somebody in recruiting, it's because physically maybe I thought they were going to do better, but. As far as fit, they're perfect for our program. They're perfect for the culture, and we can work with that. If they ran a 4.8 instead of a 4.5 like we thought they would do, then I can count on the 4.8 every time. If someone says they can run a 4.4 but I never see it on the field, then what's the point? I'd rather have the guy that runs a 4.8 that would give it to me.
How much carryover to football do you get when a number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft has that Y logo and they see the highlights wearing Brigham Young jersey? Do you feel a carryover from that on the football side?
Yeah, I think for the same thing that I was talking to Tim about, like there's a lot of people that are like, well, hold on, he's not a member of the church, and he seems to have done well. He says positive things about BYU, but we've had that's been there in the history of BYU athletics. I mean, Jim McMahon and all these stories, Steve Sarkisian, all these guys have come here and they've had great careers and had great experiences, made some connections and some friendships that last a lifetime. So it's trying to elevate that, but I think in real time, it's easier for me to talk to a recruit about AJ than it is about Jim McMahon. Yeah. Even though they may be a quarterback, it's like that's something that's easier for them to see in real time. And so, yeah, anything positive for the school and informing recruits that gets us to just. We're seeing it already in recruiting, but where young men are committing to us earlier than we normally would that aren't members of the church. And we had it on a recruiting weekend in June where basically all the non-members that we had on that visit committed before even some of the members did, So it was they were there, they saw how awesome the experience was for them, and they had that feeling that this is home, and so it's perfect for so many people, not just for members of our faith.
Kalani Sitake joining us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coach, always a pleasure. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much.
Yep. I know this is one of about 100 interviews you'll do today, so thanks for at least putting up with us.
Hey, you guys got me at the beginning. Who knows how I'm going to look after
you're going to be haggard by the end, man. Your coat's going to be up over it.
There's promise of barbecue at the end of the day, so that'll get me through.
When's the next – because do you go full suit at church, or do you just do the shirt and tie? Because I don't think that suit's coming out of the closet for a while.
Yeah, there's sometimes it just feels like an aloha shirt,
You need to go with the skirt, too, bro.
The tupenu, yeah.
You know
That's very comfortable. You guys should all try it.
You wear it well, too.
Thank you.
But not as good as you dance. That's my favorite thing about you.
It helps show my figure that I want to show
when you're
off
out there just shaking it back.
I don't think I have the calves for the skirt. But
yeah, that's my best feature. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Kalani Sitake.
One and only Coach Sitake. Thank you very much,
Coach. Brigham Young University right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, we'll take a break, come back. Good stuff from the head coach of the Cougars right here on the Zone.